San Jose Sharks 0-9-1 through 10 games, lose 10-1 on Thursday night to the Vancouver Canucks. You talk about dumpster fires. You talk about a team that could be the worst team in the NHL history.
I mean, they have 10 goals through 10 games, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to say they have 10 goals through 10 games, and they're like minus 24 or something like that already.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
and they've allowed over 40 goals in those games.
Yeah, no, so they're minus 35. They've scored 10 and given up 45.
Wow.
They're 0-4-1 at home and 0-5 away. They do not have any talent on that team, with the exception of Timo Meier. And I think, look him. What?
Isn't Myers gone? Yeah, Myers. Thomas Hertl.
Thomas Hertl. Sorry.
Right.
Exactly.
Thomas Hertl.
Yeah. But the rest of that team, they don't have anybody. Like,
no, they don't.
Who's going to score the goals?
Right. I mean, they're bad.
Was banged up a little bit and maybe back soon or is back now, but they don't really have much there for Sharks fans to be excited about.
No, they don't even have much to trade. I mean, they have Kevin LeBlanc. Yeah. They've threatened to trade him for 3 years now. Obviously, nobody wants him, or nobody's going to give what they want. They don't really have anything at all. And I guess they could trade Hertl, which they probably should. They should trade Couture, although he's kind of a staple there. He's like the Dustin Brown of the Sharks now. I mean, so I don't know if they would trade him, but they don't have much to send. They just came into the season with absolutely nothing on the roster.
I mean, they have. I mean, I guess they have. You could say Anthony Duclair, who had a pretty good year with Florida last year, and Mike Hoffman they picked up, who I guess would be their goal scorers. But right. Yeah, Couture is currently on IR, so I don't know.
I've got a fun fancy stat for you. I looked it up while you guys were talking about that. Statistically speaking, based on winning percentage, the worst team in NHL history was the 1974-1975 Washington Capitals, who had the worst regular season record of 8-67-5.
Wow. That's bad. Wow. Do you think they won't get to 8 wins? They may not.
They might not.
I mean, you have to think they're probably going to trade people away, right?
Right. And the only people they really have, I mean, they might be able to do it on their own. But even if they trade people, they may not get to 8 wins.
I don't know if they will.
That's bad.
They may not. They may not. They could be the worst.
How bad is it for the league to have a team that bad?
I kind of want to look up to see like what awful teams they've played, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I know they played Boston. They played, and I don't know. I mean, but their division, I mean, there aren't a lot of bad teams now. You look at Arizona, they've been pretty good. Vancouver's been better than I thought.
I mean, they've actually had a really tough schedule to start the season.
Oh God, yeah. I'm looking at their schedule right now.
So they started against Vegas, Colorado, Carolina, Boston, all at home.
Wow.
Yeah. Then they go on the road for 5 at Nashville, at Florida, at Tampa, at Carolina, at Washington, and then back home against Vancouver. First game after a long trip.
After a long trip.
10-1.
Blasted. So what? So looking at the schedule, what game could they win? You have the schedule there.
They're playing Pittsburgh tomorrow, and then
they might beat Pittsburgh. Because Pittsburgh is a bag of dicks.
No, here's the one: Philadelphia on the 7th. Then they've got Edmonton, Vegas, Anaheim. That's one.
Anaheim is good.
Pretty good. Yeah. Anaheim's won 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually that. The carpet.
I'll tell you right now, they're gonna lose. They're gonna beat either Pittsburgh or Edmonton because those are 2 fraudulent teams, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna drop. They're gonna win one of those games. Edmonton, I can see Edmonton's kind of on real shaky ground. I could see them losing that game. I mean, that's. But there's not a lot of.
Otherwise, they really don't have.
I mean, they're the worst. They're gonna be not favored in any game ever all season long. Like they could lose every game.
How depressing is that?
I mean, there's nothing. And like you said, there's nothing in sight there.
Otherwise, their next one up would be December 15 against Arizona. That would be the next, quote, easy team on the schedule.
Yeah. Well, how about